He even has merch in the T-Public store.
Let's go to it.
What in the hell are you doing?
Wow.
I'm trying
Extra white.
I'm trying to evoke the triggered shape.
Yeah, and as you do that, Kyle, look right.
Man, Kyle, that was extra white, my guy.
It was an interpretive dance of you being triggered. Of course it has to look white.
My goodness.
All right.
All right, let's
stop that response, bitch.
All right, top 10, bottom 5 again, Kyle.
I got it.
Only look at the right side of the screen for now. EJ, read them off for the podcast listeners.
Here we go. Number 28 for the listeners on the podcast. 28, we got the Chicago Bears. 29, the New England Patriots. Damn, we come a long way. 30,
did that hurt EJ?
I heard here in the diabetes too. 30, the Denver Broncos. 31, the New York fucking Giants, and 32, the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers. Bears move up a little bit, obviously with the win against Washington, who Florida put them down in the bottom 5 or 2 as a result.
You should have.
I really should. I honestly was thinking about it. The Pats,
suspiciously missing this week.
The Pats, look, they were getting consideration in there, but the Pats the last 2 weeks have been fucking dreadful.
Who's suspiciously missing this week, Jim?
Houston.
Thank you.
They've been gone for 2 weeks though.
I know. It's
3
great.
weeks actually. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, you figured with them losing that you probably would have slipped them.
No. They should have won that game. To be honest, they were up late.
See, Kyle, I told you they had a Texans stink.
You're getting good at this, Jim.
I'm on the wagon. I'm on the wagon, but yeah.
By the way, Jim,
apparently,
who's at number 30 again?
Oh, the Denver Broncos.
Okay, I just want to double check.
I'm sorry. I think the Broncos should have been 32nd, to be quite honest. I don't care if the Panthers are winless.
There's a defense to be made. He's got a point.
The Giants are fucking dreadful. Honestly, the Giants should be number 32. Honestly, I really consider putting them in 32.
Wow.
They're that bad. The offense is fucking dreadful.
I'm so glad we don't have a Giants fan on this panel.
Good
I know,
Lord.
and that is a relief.
I
still have the Bears at 31. I don't care that they won. Like, I really don't. Like, to me, that was more miracle, and that's and maybe I should have put them higher. Maybe I should have put the Bears at 30 and the Panthers at 31. I have the Giants at 29 because as bad as they are, I still think the other teams are worse. And I put the Commanders at 28.
Okay.
So you can't lose to the Bears and not be in the bottom 5.
This is fine work. I have no beef. Yeah, bottom 5 is pretty tight to me.
I mean, here's the thing, EJ. Like we were talking before Kyle jumped on, before we started the show. Like, I think there's more bad football than good. So, like when you're fighting for the bottom 5 spots, or at least definitely more bad than great. Good can be a muddied descriptor, but I think there's a lot of bad football right now. So determining the bottom 5 is a bit of a challenge, I think.
Some of the schedules are shaking out where like the divisions who are already bad have some really easy schedules too. Like it's friggin' nuts.
Right.
All right, EJ, top 10.
There you go. Number 10, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Number 9, Seattle Seahawks. Number 8, the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, look who came crawling the fuck back.
Yeah. Number 7, Dallas Cowboys. Number 6, Buffalo Bills. 5, the Detroit Lions. Damn, last time I see the Lions in the top 5 of anything. Number 4, the Miami Dolphins. Number 3, the Kansas City Chiefs. 2, the Philadelphia Eagles. Number 1, of course, the San Francisco 49ers. I'm going to say real quick with the Niners. Like, I understand, and I said in the podcast with Kyle earlier.
Bing.
Yes, the Niners and Eagles are 5-0, but it feels like there's a tier between those two.
Like, he almost had you say the Niners are 1 and the Eagles are 3.
It feels like it's a separation with the Eagles and the Niners. It's like tier 1's the Niners. Boom, by themselves. And then tier 2 goes Eagles and Chiefs. So, anything else? Miami moves up a little bit back to the big win against New York. Detroit continued to surge. Buffalo got nicked down because of the loss in Jacksonville. Dallas, of course, I don't know. We'll talk with Jim in a second about where he has the Cowboys.
They're out of my top 10, but
out of the top 10. Again, you're panicking.
There's
Baltimore.
bias in that.
It's two straight weeks of trauma that have led him there. Let's just put it
there. I understand that. Seattle didn't really move much. If anything, I think it moved one spot up, I think, maybe from last week.
Them being above the Jaguars is a whole other mistake. More on that later.
The Jags,
I have the Jags at 7 for the record.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Kyle.
And it's more because of who's not there.
Because if you're putting them there instead of the Cowboys, because first of all, Who is on your top 10 that isn't the Cowboys?
Jim.
I have the Bucks at 10. And
Get
they
the
probably
fuck out.
So-
Okay, you're panicking, Jim.
again
So-
admitted bias, but after what the Cowboys did this week, they don't deserve to be in the top 10.
So last you were here like hell last week, but last week the Bucks were 10.
I didn't like that either.
Yeah, they didn't play last week either. But I'm sorry now. The Jags are better than the Buccaneers right now.
Duh.
That's why that happened.
And they're better than the Seahawks. Now,
Probably.
Jim poses, then why the hell are they below them in the stand?
I
What?
said probably. I didn't say yes.
No,
Probably.
dude, no. If you're favoring it that much to get to a probably,
Consider.
yeah, exactly. That's some fence-sitting bullshit. Stop it. Okay. Anyways, so
what would you change?
the actual top 10 is the Jags are 9, and EJ missubmitted it, and Jim just went with him writing it down wrong. So actually, EJ has the Jags at 9 by his own admission. Where I'm not sure, I'm not prepared to put the Jags ahead of the Ravens, but I can see a case that can be made. If the Jags offense was more consistent, I would agree with you on the Jags at 7. I'm not there yet. They need to handle business and make me feel bad about not picking them to cover the 4 this week before I feel good about the Jags at 7. But other than your 9 and 10 swap, but that was a clerical error, EJ. You weren't really that stupid. So really, your top 10s might be the best this year, considering that.
Oh, interesting. Jim has
That
a cover on top.
clerical error is the only thing that keeps it from being the best of the year.
You know, I did. There was consideration for the Bengals going back in the top 10 again, but I said, you know what?
Too soon.
No,
Too soon.
yeah.
Right. To your point.
So I have the 49ers and Eagles 1 and 2. I think that's undebatable at this point.
You can
We're
make
at-
a case that the Chiefs should be 4 instead of 3, but not a big enough one for me to give a damn. I mean, you did struggle against the Vikings. I get it, but
and that's the thing. Like I have the Chiefs at 5, which is probably too low.
below
But my reasoning is because this is multiple weeks of them struggling against mediocre or bad teams.
right.
So I had the Bills at 2 last week. They lost to the Jags. The London game, travel, weird, whatever. So I only dropped the Bills to 3 and also because of where I moved the Jags up to. I think so it was more reactionary on Jacksonville. I have the Lions at 4 over the Chiefs.
That's fascinating.
I mean, they beat them for 1.
No one's complaining.
Yeah, this is just my reasoning. Like, they beat them for 1, and like, I think they have shown to look better than the Chiefs have so far.
Like, if they were scheduled to play again, you wouldn't straight up pick the Chiefs like you did in week 1. And I get that.
Correct.
I think that's an adequate discussion. Meanwhile, if I said to you, Jags, like, for example, Jags versus Seahawks, who would you pick?
Jags.
Without fucking hesitation. Notice that, EJ? So anyways, I can
why I have the Jags above the Seahawks in my
right, because you're a smart human being, and EJ had a clerical error. I get it.
I have Dolphins at 6, Jags 7, Seahawks 8. I have the Ravens down to 9. I think that was a bad loss. I get it's a division game, blah blah blah, all of that. I don't think the Steelers are that good. I really don't. And I think that's a bad loss. Ravens
That's one of the biggest rivalries in the league, though, Jim.
It is, but at some point,
It's the way they lost.
like, their receivers can't catch a ball. Their offensive line isn't playing well.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some issues for the Ravens. Still a really good team, but they got stuff to figure out. Like I said, should the Cowboys probably be in my 10 right now? Yes, but I'm not putting them in my top 10 after what I saw this week.
And to your credit, Jim, I thought I did the game in my head. If the Ravens and Seahawks were playing each other, who would I pick? I can't rule out picking the Seahawks.
This week, I would pick Seattle. This week, I would pick
apparently.
Seattle. I mean, and again, like, if we're playing that game this week, I would probably take the Bucks over the Cowboys because, depression.
Yes, well, exactly. We're here to keep you from falling off that damn wagon, but
like, so yeah, EJ. No, I don't think your top 10 is bad. It's obviously looks different than mine. I do think you have the Jags too low.
Again, the clerical error fixes everything.
Admittedly, the Chiefs though, you have number 5, right? Kyle, we have the Chiefs at.
The Chiefs are tricky. If you put them anywhere between 3 and 5, I'm having a lot of trouble fighting it.
Right. So I see. Go ahead, Jim. Go ahead.
I think that's kind of where I'm at. Is the 49ers are the best team. The Eagles are the second best team. And then there's kind of just like this middle pocket of like Chiefs, Dolphins, Lions, Bills. Like I think those four teams have a case to be 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then you have that then you have the fourth tier of, Cowboys, Ravens, Seahawks, Jags. If maybe there's another team that looking at, especially into next week, who may chirp into that category. But like we're in just kind of this tier system where I don't think any answer with evidence is wrong.
Right. I'm probably giving the Chiefs a lot more credit because of the number one in the Super Bowl champions, number one for starters.
Right.
And they have that guy, Patrick Mahomes. So.
If the answer is Patrick Mahomes the second, and anyone gets mad at you, they're the problem. Let's be
Well, yeah, and here's the thing: like, will the Chiefs get there? Probably. Well, will they begin to put the pieces together? Probably. They went through similar struggles to start the year last year.
They did. That's true.
So it's not.
They didn't lose to the
Lions.
Lions.
I don't trust them. Again, there's that T word EJ loves. It's not that I don't trust the Chiefs, but if I'm building a list based on what I've seen so far, they haven't shown out. Like they're struggling against the Vikings. They're struggling against the Jets. They need to be bailed out a couple of times, by some guys in black and white shirts.
Well, I gotta say, you guys mentioned Detroit and Kansas City. Now, Detroit, Kansas City at full strength versus Detroit.
But Kansas City isn't really at full strength right now. I mean, because now
they have full strength to start the year, and Detroit beat them in Kansas City.
I mean, Chris Jones didn't play the game, neither did freaking Kelsey.
The Chris Jones thing is a bigger deal, and Kelsey, I think, is just as limited now as he would have been then. Kelsey is showing that he's 34. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying he's not.
But you can also make an argument that David Montgomery is carving out a role in the Lions offense, and Sam Laporta is quickly, accelerating towards one of the best tight ends in football. And the Lions are probably better now than they were week 1.
Look at this guy, Detroit.
And also, your number 10 team nearly beat them and gave the game away. So there's that.
Well, strange year.
Yeah,
strange year. In other words, you don't know what you're doing. Say it.
I said what I said.
Again, as far as EJ rankings go,
you've seen worse.
Some of your better work this year.
Yeah,
you've seen worse.
Yes, I don't think we've gotten a genuine good Christ out of Kyle yet this year. So,
good Christ!
First of all, my voice has never been that high. Second,
oh my God,
you've gotten a good Christ. It just hasn't been during the show.
Well, that's true. But EJ, you're making progress. You're making progress.
I try.
All right, let's